Hey there everybody, Andrew here. Welcome to the first episode in a series I'm going to be putting together where I'm detailing a 2010 Mazda 3 2.0 liter. This is going to be a 5-point series where I'm going to go through just about every area of this car to get it clean and sort of rejuvenated and ready for the owner to resell it. Within this 5-part series, I'm going to go through everything from the engine bay to the interior, to the exterior, doing a headlight restoration, and then finally wrapping up with a little bit of paint correction, some plastic dressing and sealing and all that kind of good stuff. This first episode right here is all dedicated to the engine bay and the process that I went through to rejuvenate and sort of bring this engine bay back to life, get it looking a little bit nicer, less dusty and all that. So let's jump into the video and hope you guys enjoy. I went ahead and decided to just remove the battery fully from this vehicle because the tray that's underneath the battery, the little box that it sits in on these Mazdas, it was completely full of just like dirt and like little rust particles, and it looks like at one point a battery had gotten pretty corroded in here, and so there was a ton of buildup down in the bottom of the box. And I wanted to be sure that I could clean that out and get it good. And also the benefit is that there's no power running to any of the electronics while you're doing the detailing, so that's always a bonus. And so that's why we decided to remove the battery all the way on this one. In continuing to get the vehicle ready, I also went ahead and removed the engine cover. We're going to go ahead and detail that part separately off of the vehicle. You can see the dirt on the liner underneath. And I just want to make sure we had full access to everything and had everything sort of out of the way. Then I'm kind of doing an inspection here, and we're going to go ahead and get this thing prepped and ready to blow out all of the loose debris, vacuum out all the loose debris, and go from there. Right here, I switched the vacuum back over to actually vacuuming because there was so much dirt in the battery box, like I mentioned before. I didn't want to blow that out everywhere into my, face and across the engine bay. So I want to be sure I could just kind of pull that up locally. While I was vacuuming out the fuse box, I actually pulled one of the little plastic caps off of one of the fuses. So I had to stop for a second and root around in the debris in the shop vac so I could put that little cap back on. So just got to be careful on what's getting pulled up by the vacuum. With all of the loose debris removed with the shop vac, I can now come in, and now it's time to start getting some of the stuck-on dirt off. I start this process by doing a light spray with just a garden hose. I'm not pressure washing here or anything like that. Being sure to not spray the alternator or any of the junction boxes directly with a high jet of water. As you can see on the hose here, I've got it set kind of to fan out. That way we're avoiding any kind of over-soaking of any of the electrical connectors. Once I get everything rinsed off, then it's going to be time to start spraying the degreaser and then just going piece by piece and sort of agitating that degreaser and rinsing it clean as we go to get the engine bay clean. I like to start with my degreaser and the whole cleaning process right here on the underside of the hood. That way you get that clean. It can be drying while you're working on the part below, and you don't have to come back and then drip a bunch of dirt and stuff down onto what you've cleaned on the engine if you do it backwards. So I like to start with the hood here. And this is generally the process we're going to follow for all of the engine bay. It's just coat it down with some degreaser. Right here I'm using Super Clean in a spray bottle. It's actually undiluted, and then just go in and either wipe it with a microfiber towel, use a detailing brush, and then just rinse all of what you lift up with the brush and the rag. Rinse that clean with the hose. When working with the degreaser, you want to be sure you don't allow it time to dry, but I do like to go ahead and soak the entire engine bay, or at least spray the entire engine bay with the degreaser. This helps when you have a bunch of like cooked on grime, let's say on the top of the heads or on the top of the engine. Places like that, it can be working sort of in the background while you're agitating certain spots with your brush. So I like to spray the whole thing first and then go in and start working with the brushes. Once you've loosened all of the dirt with the brushes, it's time to get the hose out and give it a little rinse. That'll rinse off all of the dirt that you have suspended and that you've kind of broken loose with the degreaser. Then you just pretty much repeat this process for all of the little areas. I like to section it off sort of in my mind and kind of grid it out and do little sections at a time because it's hot here in Texas where I'm working, so I don't want to let the degreaser sit too long. So this kind of like is my process, but feel free to use your own. And then once you've gone through the entire engine bay, you're done. Congratulations, you got it clean. Okay, here we are. Engine compartment is done. Followed the same process as in my 2002 GMC Yukon video. We just went in, kind of dry vacuumed and blew everything out to get all the big, large debris out, and then we came in and did a little bit of degreaser just to kind of loosen up the grime. Rinsed that, brushed that, microfibered that, and just kind of generally did the cleaning process. Went in, rinsed it, and now I put everything back together, and then large plastic surfaces were hit with Aerospace 303 to kind of give them a little bit of protectant, a little bit of their darker color back. So we're gonna call the engine compartment good. I do still have to put the battery back in, but I'm gonna wait a little bit just to make sure everything is good and dry before I do that. So now I've just gotta decide what's gonna be next. This came out pretty good though. And there you have it, guys. That's what I did to clean up the engine bay on this Mazda and rejuvenate it and bring it back to life. I hope you enjoyed that look into the process I took to detailing and cleaning up this engine bay. If you did, be sure to give it a like and also subscribe to the channel if you want to see the next part of the series where I go through and I give the Mazda a nice deep interior clean and get it looking better than it has in quite some time. That's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.